Cool. Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this week, the Texans are going to LA to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, a top 10 offense. Despite all the stats behind them, I know this is going to be a close game because for the past 2 weeks or so, we've been having nothing but close games. So I'm going to talk about a few things that the Texans got to do to win that game because I know they can do it or whatnot. But I want to go ahead and kind of cover a couple of things from last week. So my first thing I want to touch on, so like I said, it was another close game that we had, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, on paper is like, damn, Texans should have blew them out. But, I mean, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their season kind of, torpedoing a little bit. If you've seen any of the headlines over there, their quarterback, Nick Foles, down for the season. They're getting ready to trade their star cornerback. So it's week 2 and they coming into our building thinking like they ain't got nothing to lose, to be honest with you. So, they got a rookie quarterback, Gardner Minshew, and he almost leads the Texans. He almost leads the Jaguars to a 1-point victory over us. But that did not happen thanks to Justin Reed. Kudos to him. But definitely another close game that just probably should not have been. Probably one of the reasons that it was a close game was just some of the costly mistakes that we had. There were penalties, all throughout the game. I see that there was a defensive holding on a die. I believe that was the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in here. Anyway, he shouldn't have done it. So, but there was one key penalty on Titus Howard, rookie lineman. And that took away a first down, which probably could have ran the clock, probably could have closed the game out for us on that one. So, definitely just need to. Texas just got to cut down on those penalties, man. Those costly mistakes. And it wasn't just penalties that were like mistakes. There was just other gaps as well. I one thing I pointed out was like I felt like they were just over rushing them. Over rushing Minshew a little bit too much. Once they got into the backfield, it kind of left a lane open for him. So I felt like, I'm not gonna say put a spy on Gardner Minshew, but at least kind of break that pocket down a little bit better, so he doesn't get the chance to like run us, get the chance to like scoop up some little cheap mercy yards or whatever. What was my other thought? Yeah, one thing I also want to point out, that third quarter, man, it was, ugh, like, it was 6-3. We were coming out at half with that, so I definitely thought we should have had like some type of boost. Coming into the third quarter, just to get some more points on the board. We really didn't get nothing going to that fourth quarter. Deshaun Watson runs it in for a touchdown on 4th and 1. So yeah, a clutch play. In my notes, I put down clutch performance by Watson, but yeah, when I thought about it, I was like, right before I turned this video on, I was like, well, that's not exactly a performance that he had. 16 to 29, 159 yards. We have our receiving core is just too great for him to be turning in 159 yards passing. I'm sorry. I know a lot of Texans fans, last year they was flaming up the Cowboys fans because Dak was throwing like 100-something yards in certain games. So, we just got to keep that same energy with our quarterback. Our receivers are just way too great for that. Even the tight ends, I still don't think we go to them as much as we should, but that is what that is on the tight ends. But we just have a great trio of receivers right now, and there's no way Deshaun Watson should be finishing the games with 159 yards. Great that he was able to get that fourth. Great that he's able to get that run on 4th down. Definitely, that's always needed. But that run, it kind of brings me to what I wanted to talk about this week. Watson, can he develop like a clutch gene? Like, can that be like his strong suit? Going forward in his career. I know a lot of the talk around him coming into this league, especially from his coach, was that he's very competitive. You know what I'm saying? He's a winner, and what starting quarterback in this league isn't competitive in this winner and a winner? But that actually means something. When it comes down to like those last 2 or 3 minutes, and you need a first down to continue the game or continue the game time drive, or you kind of need something to like just put the game away or anything in those final minutes or whatever, or just to go in and just win the game altogether. So um, I think he can. I think this is something that's definitely going to be like probably his main thing as going forward. In this going forward in this league. One of the things that one of the things the other day I saw was somebody put up a graphic, and I didn't go into too much detail about it, but they were just talking about some of the close games he's had so far, and kind of think about it, like this is only like his what third season, and he's had some pretty like tight knit games against some pretty big time quarterbacks. So right now I'm just flipping through, and I'm going back to 2017, and I kind of count the Cincinnati game a little bit as one of those close joints. He did have that 49-yard run, and that came in the second quarter, though. Games like, the New England game, his first time going up there, and, they lose 33-36. The Seattle game was that same season, which is the game like right before he got injured. And, they go down 38-41. But what's not being said about those particular games, especially the New England game, is Watson kind of kept these guys in the game. They were able to get 2 field goals in the New England game. They were to get one more right before the 2 minute warning to put them up by 5. So they could have beat the Patriots, but I mean, you can't beat the Patriots with field goals, obviously. What's to be said about the Seattle game? And both of these were on the road, by the way. So yeah, what's to be said about the Seattle game? He had a touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins that actually put them up 38-34. But I mean, in the end, Russell Wilson threw that touchdown to Jimmy Graham. And so, that was a couple of like close knit joints that we had. His first season. So, he's a rookie. He's getting his feet wet or whatever. So you fast forward to 2018, and I'm looking at some of the games now. So I'm looking at the Tennessee game where they kind of blew a lead, actually. So they were up by like, what, 17 to, yeah, they were up 17-14. They gave up, 6 straight points. So, that's not a good thing to really have. But then you fast forward a couple weeks later, you go to the Indianapolis game. They win that, 37-34. You go to the Dallas game, and nobody's ever going to forget the Dallas game last year, especially when Hopkins made that catch and, spun through the whole put the whole Dallas defense in a spin cycle. So, just games like that that he's able to like just keep the team in. Go fast forward like a few more weeks down, and there's the Broncos game. When the Broncos and the Redskins games were still on the road, by the way, where the kicker missed the field goals at the end, and so those are like near death, if you will, experiences as far as like winning games. And I think towards the end last year, there was the Jets game where they had to come back and throw they had to come in the fourth quarter and get a touchdown from D. Get a touchdown, throw a touchdown to D Hop. Right before the 2 minute warning. Also with the Philly game, they had a touchdown pass. I think they threw a touchdown to Vincent Smith, and right before the 2 minute warning as well. But Philly just came back and what I'm saying, just did what they did and won the game and pulled the game out. So, and And thinking and going back on all those, like fast forward to these last two games. So you see that he throws the touchdown pass to Kenny Stills in the New Orleans game, and lo and behold, here comes Drew Brees marching down the field, and the kicker makes a field goal that thought he was going to miss or whatever. So um, definitely just really, really, definitely just ups and downs like pretty much through his whole like development as a quarterback. And that's a good thing that he's been in these close games like this, so he can kind of develop that fear of for later down the line, as I said. So I mean, it's a good trait that he has now. However, one thing that I do want to see a little bit more out of, and probably just a small detail on this, I want to see him like play a little bit better earlier on. Because I mean, like I said, we have a great receiving core, and this year our running backs are. I think our running back system right now is, just amazing. I think it works for what we like to do. And so, yeah, Lamar Miller, you know what I'm saying, he was cool, he was good and all that, but what we brought in to replace him with, or and Foreman with to an extent, it's really working right now. And so, with that being said, Watson has the weapons that he can go out and he can put up, maybe 30 something points by the second quarter, at least by the end of the third quarter. Like, I mean, hell, we just came off a 29-point performance against the New Orleans Saints. Let me double check that because I do not want to get, I do not, I do not want to get chewed out, chewed out on the internet if I got that wrong. Yeah, 28 before. It's Friday. I'm tired. Anyway, so yeah. But anyway, we came off a 28-point performance on the road against the New Orleans Saints. So, we can definitely we had a capacity to put up the points, put up the numbers, all that good stuff. So, with that being said, um, fast forward to Sunday, man. Look, this is gonna be a great game. Chargers, they're 1-1. They're a really good football team. I know they had the whole thing with Melvin Gordon trying to hold out on this contract, but I mean, that's just like us. They're going with a two running back system as well. That's really doing wonders for them. So just going to go ahead real quickly and give you like three keys that the Texans got to do to win this game. So number one, we talked about it. The mental mistakes, they got to reduce them. They got to cut them out. That includes cutting back on penalties. Penalties, especially in the fourth quarter, because this game is more than likely probably going, into the fourth quarter. Chargers, they've been in some close games themselves. They pulled an overtime win out against the Indianapolis Colts in week one. They also lost last week to the Detroit Lions in regulation or whatever, 13-10. So, we just got to, reduce the mental mistakes and, just keep the focus on getting this W. Do not miss out on fumbles. So one thing I forgot to mention when I first came in here for the recap, there was a couple of plays where, we got a sack or whatever, sack fumble, and we just didn't recover it in time. So definitely do not miss out on recovering those fumbles. Those are very, very crucial. And we playing some quarterbacks this season, so if there's a chance that we get to a Pat Mahomes or a Tom Brady and they just happen to not be paying attention and kind of drop the football a little bit, make sure we jump on that. Every turnover is going to be key, so definitely start on that now. You see a fumble, just jump on it, even if the play is blown dead. So I mean, what they going to do? Overturn it? We're not the New Orleans Saints anyway. I tried to sneak something in cheesy. I ain't had no coffee yet. So, yeah, let me stop. So, yeah, make sure you cut back on penalties. Don't miss on fumbles. Slow down the two running back attack. So, look, a lot of teams are going with this running back by committee thing. From what I've seen with the Chargers, they are they are excelling with this. Like Austin Eckler, man, he is a force catching the ball out the backfield. I've seen a couple of plays where he was just getting on screens, just getting the ball on screen plays. He would just, just kind of run through the whole damn defense, and it would be like, 10 yards to go, 8 yards to go, some mess like that. But he would just run through them. So even then, there were like probably maybe one or two plays where he just wasn't on screen plays. He was just there was one play I seen him do where he was just like going right across the middle or whatever. So just watch out for him receiving wise. They're definitely going to use him in the passing game early, and if they find any bit of success, it's probably going to be offense. So make sure that we can try to take that away. The other guy, Justin Jackson, he's been pretty good. Like he's more great on the ground traditionally. So he's probably not going to get that many looks in the receiving game, but definitely if he's in the game, they're probably going to run the ball with him, or they might use a little play action and get to get to their receivers or whatever. So definitely kind of anticipate whenever he's going to run, and that's going to be the real key in stopping that two running back attack. So last key, third and final key to winning this game, ratchet up the pressure. Like, I mean, I thought we did okay. Trying to, put the pressure on, Jaguars quarterback Minshew or whatever. But I definitely think we could ratchet it up just a little bit more. With Rivers, I mean, you're gonna have to get after him. It's not just Keenan Allen that he can find. He has other receivers that he can just hit on any type of route or whatever. He wouldn't. I mean, obviously is what's kept him in this league for his ability to just find receivers. That's what kind of kept him in this league for all this long, obviously. So definitely as far as like covering the receivers, yes, of course, but the real meat of that of stopping him is going to be just getting some pressure on him. So I'm not saying like you have to sack him, but you do have to force him to like kind of get out his pocket a little bit, make a ill-advised throw at the very least. I was watching the highlight from the Detroit game, and they kind of forced him to make a throw. That obviously he had to make a throw or whatever towards the end of the game, and he threw the game-ending interception. So definitely forced him to make a mistake with his throws and everything. But that all comes from just getting the pressure on the quarterback. It has to improve from that stat that was floating around out there about Drew Brees only getting all those 3-man rushes. Like, no, you can't do that. No, you gotta get after this guy. Interrupt his time and disrupt his throws, all that good stuff. So yeah, those are my 3 keys, man. Reduce the mental mistakes, slow down the two running back attack from the Chargers, and just turn the pressure up on Phillip Rivers. You do that, you got a W in this game, and hey, we got the quarterback. Look, Watson, he's still growing as far as like coming through and being clutch in games. So he'll show up for this. He'll definitely show up in the fourth quarter. So with that being said, I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla. Oh, excuse me. Holla Black.